Hey guys, welcome back to this Nerd Rant. I'm Dr. Sabrina Austin on the set with my co-host
JJ, aka Junior Wall.
And guys, I've been going on a nostalgia trip. I got a PS1 this week, and it's been a vibe.
You're tempting me. Like I've seen original Xboxes and stuff around, and there are some games that I'd love to go back and play because I never got a chance. Because my first Xbox was a 360, so
yeah, no, it's been fun. I got Final Fantasy VII, and then I also got the remake and the remaster. Which the remake is not. Yeah, you know what I mean. I got all three versions, and let me tell you, it is very jarring going from PS1 to PS5.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's practically a whole new game.
It is very much a new game. Same plot, same not plot. I'm very confused. I'm missing a lot of things. Probably should finish PS1 version before I continue. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. JJ, we have a lot to cover today, and when I say a lot, what do I mean? I mean a lot.
So, yeah, we're talking about Fortnite again, and the thing that always seems to happen has happened yet again, where everything just absolutely crumbles down the moment we're like, we can go like a month without doing a Fortnite episode.
No,
and
not
then,
today.
Yep, then the entire community just crumbles down, they make an odd choice that we need to talk about, and then we get a leak that seemingly is the leak of all leaks. Anyways.
Yeah, so let's get into this. Let's talk about gameplay. We have Midas's return and nice soda. Midas's return and the Avatar update. So Midas's return. Really cool / really bad.
Yeah, it was a really cool build-up, and the story is awesome, and then it happened.
So I had one big problem, and it's really big problem / not that big of a problem. We got an LTM, which was a great LTM. We got Flores Lava back. It's great, including since it's Midas's Flores Lava, all the guns are legendary, which is fun, and they had attachments, another great feature. My big problem is, why is it the last 2 or 3 LTMs, which are the only LTMs we've gotten in 2.5 years or something crazy, are locked to squads?
Yep.
Back in the day when we had LTMs like this, it would rotate between solo, duo, trio, squads, or not trio, because trio wasn't a thing, but it would rotate. Why is it that we're only getting squads? Because I was trying to play this, and I had to do the challenges with just Jaden, because I try to get people on, and it is so hard to try to get a squad on.
I do think there is a reason for it, though, and it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because when you say back in the day, this is when Fortnite was popular, but not nearly as popular as it is now, right? So they had more server space for these different size games. Whereas now, when they release a whole new game mode, they have to dedicate an amount of the server space that's already being used for things like zero build and build mode and creative games even, and dedicate that to this LTM. So if they have all of these different size teams available, that's that much more server space that they have to dedicate to that instead of their main servers.
No. It wasn't, they had all 3 at once. It's the first time we get solid gold, it's duo. The next time we get solid gold in the rotation, it was squads. The next time was solo. It was only one. But it's rotated between the size game modes. Every time we get a game mode now, it's squads. Why can't this game mode be duo for Christmas? And then we get squads for solid gold. And then we get this. It's only been squads. You can cycle it out. Your competitive game mode is duo, and you haven't changed that. So why can't you? Why is it squads?
Yeah.
I do not think squads is the most popular game mode either. I feel like most people play duo or trio.
It's the most versatile, though, because no matter how many people you have, you can play a game.
For what?
For, squads.
What do you mean?
If I have a duo, I can play in squads, but if it's duos and I have a squad, then we'll have to break it up.
Sucks for you? That's only a 50%, 50%, okay, now I have to play with randoms, or split up. They're, again, you either do multiple or, switch it up. It's okay, this time it's trios. This time it's duos. So, hey, maybe in the next LTM we can play together. They can do more. They just choose not to. Because they don't listen. And we'll talk about that later. It's been rough. But that was my big problem, because I literally did not get to play, because I did not get a chance to get 4 people on, because I'm not playing Phil. Phil is my least favorite thing, especially in a game mode like this where it's going to take strategy. You have to build across, and you have to honestly, communicate. I'm not playing
It wasn't
Phil.
that difficult to play with a not full squad. Like, me and Lexi played, and I had one other friend on that we played with, and it was not that hard. We got, like,
Skill-based
top
matchmaking.
3. Not skill-based matchmaking.
Skill-based matchmaking.
It's not
It's very
skill-based
much skill-based matchmaking.
No.
Not skill-based matchmaking.
It's not.
My lobbies are definitely going to be significantly harder than you and Lexi's.
No, because there were people absolutely cranking and skybasing and all this crappy stuff.
Skill-based matchmaking. Anyway.
Disagree.
But yeah, that was my big problem. Other than that, it was fun. We got a mythic drum gun. Did you use that much?
I did use it a good bit, and it was not my favorite. I will say, and I've said this before, I think, on the podcast, but the drum gun is kind of like an awkward in-between. Like, it wants to be like an SMG mid-range, but it also wants to be an AR and kind of do that mid to long range. So it's very difficult, and I will say it is better now with the attachments because you can kind of lean it more in one of the directions rather than it just being stuck there in the middle. But it's still kind of awkward to pick up because I'm not going to drop my AR for it because then I can't do long range at all, but I don't want to drop my SMG for it because I need something fast.
I think it's good. It's just, it's really just it all depends on the loot pool that it's in. And when we have a loot pool with like the burst SMG, which is crazy, and we have a loot pool with like snipers that you can quick scope, the DMR and the Warforged, it just doesn't fit. But when we have, say, no attachments, right? So that then balances out that it can be an AR because you don't have like a first-person weapon, you don't have reduced recoil, this and that. You know what I mean? Like, it can do a lot better against those types of ARs, especially if it's like a normal AR. It's just because of the loot pool that we have, it just doesn't fit anywhere.
Yeah.
But the Mythic was fun. I didn't really use it much because it just wasn't worth it. Because like I said, just others like Burst and Sniper, like that is definitely going to be significantly better.
Yeah.
Was there anything else? We got the Chains of Hades in this update, right?
We did. Yes, we did get the Chains of Hades.
Which has been buffed many times at this point.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on them?
Useless. I'm not picking it up. However, it's also overpowered? Question mark?
Yeah, no,
I don't know if you saw specifically in build mode. It goes through cones and stairs.
I'm upset at this item simply because of the fact that they keep buffing it. Because, like, from, like, launch, right, when they released the item, it was good, right? It had a purpose. Was it something I'd pick up over the other items in the game? Probably not. But the item could hold its own, obviously. And you could use it, you could yank people, and then you could either swap to a shotgun and pump them in the face, or you could keep attacking with the train and do a little bit of damage, you know? A little bit less than your typical mythic that would do the same thing would.
Well, it's not mythic, it's purple.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like the typical mythics we've had in the past that like have that kind of combo-esque attack pattern.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but a little less damage. And then they buffed it, and then they buffed it again, and now it's just so irritating because having that combo attack style means that if they grab me with the chain and do, 40, 60 damage of how much it was
60,
the pull?
I think.
60 damage with the pull. And then they can just attack me relentlessly for like 60, 80 damage every hit.
55 and then 80 for the third.
That's ridiculous, because not only are they yanking me, so I then have to adjust, especially if they were coming from behind, I have to turn to face them. But the yank is so fast that I can't turn by the time it's over, and then they attack me 3 times within 5 seconds. So if I didn't have my shotgun out, pump them in the face immediately, then I'm dead. And the fact that it pierces some of those structures.
2 things. 1, Gatekeeper. I still don't like the Gatekeeper purely because of the 3, but if I have the 5, I'm picking it up, and it is definitely going to kill him. Like, the damage output is insane. 2, I don't think I've died to it once. I don't see anybody use it because it's just not good. It is so bad that I only saw people use it for the first time in a video explaining that it goes through builds because they did it in a tournament. And that's like the only time I've ever seen anybody pick it up because it's just...
But you've been playing mostly builds, right?
Yes.
In Zero build, it's definitely something I've seen picked up a lot more.
I also do not think it's good in Zero. I just don't think it's worth it for the damage output you can get from other stuff. Like a sniper or DMR, rather like for a triple, right? Or a shotgun, mobility, protection, like the earthbending or the porta bunker. I just don't see it being good enough unless it went through builds, like properly like the Venom. I think if it did that, I think it'd be good. But because it doesn't, it's just not worth it. Because I don't even think the swings that go through builds was on purpose.
I see mostly it's used in zero build because when people have to run across a field to get some more cover, that leaves them vulnerable. And so if you grab them with the chain while they're trying to run, you now have a massive advantage on them. And they were probably running because they needed cover in the first place. Now they have nothing.
But with bananas, flowberries, the infinite dash, like
Dude,
medallion,
the bananas
just
are kind
all
of garbage.
But it gives you that increased sprint and jump and everything. So like just with all the mobility, it's just I just don't see it being worth it ever right now with the current meta.
I think my main qualm is that there's no cooldown on the yank, really.
Yeah.
You can just yank and then they try and run again, yank them again. If they build a cone, well, guess what? Yank them again.
But yeah, that's a thing. It's there. It's kind of whatever. I think that's it, though. Oh, Deagle. We got the Deagle, too.
Oh, yeah. That's been a lot of fun. I enjoy having this in the loot pool anytime.
It just doesn't feel the same. I just do not like... I know it's... Did the original Deagle have travel time? Because it used sniper bullets.
Yeah, I think it did.
Did it? I don't think it did.
I think it did.
I don't think it did.
I think it did.
I think it was instant because the builds and stuff. I feel like it was instant.
I don't know.
It's hard, but anyway, just because they changed it with attach and everything, it just doesn't feel the same. Like I'm missing shots that I definitely would be hitting with the original. Because even if it did have travel time, it is so much slower. And it's the same thing with like the DMRs that I said before. When now that we have all travel time, it's a little bit more balanced. But when it takes sniper ammo. And we have the reverse sniper, why won't I pick it up when I can use the reverse sniper, hit a shot, and it's going to do how much more damage and be so much easier to hit?
I would say it is much better, not at long ranges, but at mid to short range. It is a great weapon because...
But that's where like I have
once
the
again,
burst
having
or an AR.
But that swap with the shotgun, like the kind of not double pump that you can do with it, is still very overpowered. And then I've found a lot of success playing angles with it in zero build, obviously. But if I'm, especially with the vaults, if you camp at the top of the vault, or not camp, but sit there, and you know somebody's down inside, you can just watch with the deagle and easily headshot them the moment they peek.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I could just do it with a sniper, and it's going to one-shot them in zero build. Even if it was zero build, it's going to do 303 damage. It's going to, like, one-shot them no matter what rarity I have.
Yeah, but the deagle has, like, a bunch more shots.
7 versus 3. 7, which you can only do 194 at Legendary, or one shot. Like, if you hit all shots, I'm going to kill 3 people if you hit headshots. With the deagle, you have to hit 2 shots per, so that's really only 4
Even
kills,
if the sniper's better,
kills.
though, you can't really find it anymore.
Yes, you can. I still find it almost every single game.
They've nerfed its spawn like 5 times.
I find it like every game. Go to bunkers, NPCs sell it. Like, there is plenty around the map if you know what to look for.
Okay, so
like
only the guaranteed drops, you're saying?
Okay. There is plenty.
In the bunkers and NPCs, those are guaranteed drops. I'm saying, like, out of chests and stuff, if you're
that's
not
what I'm saying, though, like,
looking for a sniper, it's harder to find.
From a player kill, like, I'm not looking for it. I'm not directly going for it, but there's plenty around the map that, like, I find it almost every game. I'd say it's like a 50% chance that I find a sniper in a game, every game. Like, yes, it's less, and you're not getting, like, 100, but it's really not as bad as people think. You just have to survive, and if the lobby is, like, buying the snipers, opening the bunkers, which generally they are, they're around. Like, people have them in the inventory, they die, they're on the floor, etc. Like, I have not had a problem with finding a sniper at all.
Well, I prefer the deagle. It just works better for the purposes I'm using it.
But yeah. Also, sniper scope on it. It's really stupid. And really great.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Enough said about the deagle. And then, no, we already talked about the wing change. That's not new. Yeah, I think that's it, right? We had no new guns. I'm trying to think. That's it, right?
Yeah, for the Midas update, yeah.
For Midas. And then we got some quests, we got some rewards. He did things. We had to rescue him. We were completely wrong. We did not have to reboot him. He just popped out.
Yeah, no, I guess the card was the guy in the guard of the prison. The golden card, because he killed the guy and he dropped a reboot card, but the card turned to gold because he used the golden touch. That's what the quest said, at least.
Okay. That's stupid, but okay.
Yeah, I was like, that's weird, because if you go down in the cell, the card is there now that he's gone.
Yeah. But yeah, he just kind of broke out. We had to investigate how he broke out, and he just broke out.
Yep.
He went to his yacht, and now guess what? His yacht's gone, which really annoys me, because with the way the season's been and the loot spawns, why are we removing loot? There is 0 new loot spawns after that. Except what? I guess maybe the avatar things with like 1 chest and like 1 floor spread around. Like there's no like POI like that, and that's 1 less vault, right? Because there was a vault in there, so that's less gold, less chests. Like,
yeah,
especially in that area. Like I don't know why. Like, and also like with the Midas, right? I thought we'd get like more river sticks. We still have had no river sticks.
I was kind of hoping that would spread a little bit.
Did you say it was guaranteed, or was that a theory?
It was in the files. Like, there was a version of the map that had all river sticks.
Okay. Cool. So maybe that's going to be the end of the season event or some crap. Like, I don't... Well, we'll talk about that later. Yeah. It was an event. Like I said, if they gave us, like, duo or trios, I wouldn't have mind so much. But, like, I didn't really get to play the game mode. And then the guns just, like I said, just with having the overpowered burst still in the game, having the one-shot sniper that's like extremely fast, then having like all, could be better, could have been worse, but could have definitely been better. Anything else, or do you want to get into Avatar?
Why not? Let's hop into Avatar.
Okay, so Avatar Wave 1, because there's kind of 2 ways. We had the Korra skin come out, and we got water bending. What do you think about the water bending?
I rather enjoy it. I think it would be better if it were a little bit more long range, but I can understand. All of these bendings are overpowered in their own sense. It's not like, oh my gosh, if you have this item, you're gonna win. It's, if you know how to use this item, you can destroy with it.
Yeah,
and the water bending is definitely one of the best, especially because it's like a passive heal as well.
I'm still learning it, right? Because after the buff, I haven't really used it. But apparently, I didn't realize this because I just don't use it because generally the burst was just better. But after the buff and everything, it's pretty much like the best AR or SMG in the game because it's a burst. It has no damage drop off, infinite ammo, and it has like barely any bullet like projectile drop off. Like it doesn't fall down.
The only thing that's a problem is that long range accuracy.
Even then, like that's what I'm saying. Like I carry triple, right? So even like that mid to long range, like I'm able to tag it. Like I was hitting people like, the other day. From, like, 100
absolutely.
meters
You just can't
away.
hit it consistently usually, but you can definitely tag with some of the burst.
So it's kind of crazy. And then, like you said, passive heal. And then there's also, I guess, they've made it where it's hit scan at a certain distance, which is like really weird.
Bruh.
It's like 50 meters, I think, or something. It's hit scan.
Weird.
It's like, what does that even mean? Like, how does it hit scan at a certain? I don't know. But anyway, then we got the actual Avatar update with the pass, with some skins, and we got the other 3 bendings. Let's go over the pass first. What do you think?
I like it. I had a little more hope for it because obviously in the past we've got multiple skins in a pass, and now it's just one skin and essentially its other style,
which is 2 skins.
Yeah, I don't know why they separated it. It's kind of stupid, but I think it could have been better, but you know, it still honors Avatar, and I think it is a worthwhile pass this time around. So
I saw a lot of people saying it's like the worst one, and I'm like, I really one main person I saw also said like they're not a big Avatar fan. I'm like, that's really it. Like it's a good pass if you like Avatar because you have the cabbage emote, you have Momo, you have Sokka's space sword. Like you have so many references that if you enjoy it, and like what is it, 1,000? 1,000 is like a great deal. I think the other ones are like 1,500. So it's 1,000, and you get Aang, you get Sokka's space sword, you get his glider, which is like pathetic.
Yeah, it's like half price shop bundle essentially.
Yeah, like it's really not that bad. And if you like it, you like it. And guess what happens if you don't like it? Don't get it. You still get a free glider. You still get free rewards. You still get free levels. You just don't get Aang. Like if you don't want Aang, then don't get it. Like it's a cheaper version than just buying Aang. Whether he's no matter what the prices were, and we'll talk about the prices later. No matter what the prices were, this would be cheaper than buying Aang in the item shop. It's like, there is no downside to it versus some other ones where it's like, I didn't care. Like I've bought every single one, right? But like, I wouldn't mind if I didn't buy the TMNT. Like it's just 2 shredders, or like Star Wars. I don't care about Star Wars. I pretty much bought it just because I completed it. That's another thing, right? If you don't like it, just see if you complete it. And if you complete it at the end, then buy it. And if you don't waste the V-Bucks.
Yeah.
Like I really don't understand why people are so mad. If you like it, and you buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Like, all this stuff's going to come to the item shop later anyway.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I think it's a really good pass, though. It's probably one of my favorites. I still like the Star Wars one better, simply because I'm probably a bigger Star Wars fan, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying,
this is definitely
like,
great.
Yeah. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. I will say, I still think for like these mini-season collabs, I still think Cold-Blooded or Most Wanted, whatever it was, is my favorite, because of that that heat level stuff. That was really fun, and we had those really fun exotics, which I think I enjoy more than these mythics. So that's the pass. Let's talk about the 3 skins, then we're getting to gameplay.
So
we got Blind Bandit, and the emotes don't work on her because she's blind, and I love that. So that's great. Who else did we get, JJ?
We got Zuko, and we got Katara.
Yes. Zuko, best boy. Zuko fun. And we got his dual wield swords and the backbling that goes with it. Blind Bandit had the backbling, right? Like the champion. And then she got like Warhammers. Yeah. And then Katara got Sokka's thing. I don't know what his thing's called.
I think it's an ice pick. I think.
No, it has a big ball on the top. Like it's like a I don't know what like type of thing it's called.
It says Southern Water Tribe Club, so I guess it's a club.
It's just a club. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's like I said, like it's a reference to the show. And then she got her water
water
pouch,
skin
for the back bling. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So many people were saying, "Oh, hey, why did we get Korra back?" And I'm like, guys, they're completely different skins. Stop hurting me.
Yeah,
I think that's about it. They're cool.
Yeah,
I got them all.
Which one was your favorite out of the 4?
So I do want to mention, like, because Toph is so short, they actually like used her comic version, which I thought was cool.
They did that for all of them.
Well, I mean, Zuko and Katara just feel like the show. Like that's just Zuko season 4.
They kind of wear the same outfits in the comics, though.
But I'm saying, like,
apart from Zuko, I think, because he has like a Fire Lord.
Toph does feel like a different outfit because she's bigger. But like outfit.
Aang especially, this specific outfit is from the comics.
That one, I don't know about the Avatar state. I think there's just a bigger one.
Yeah, I don't know about the Avatar state either, but his main style.
I just like that. Like if they're too short, they give them a comic style. But Zuko. Zuko. But yeah. How about you? What's your favorite?
Probably
5,
Aang,
4,
I think.
Aang? Okay.
Yeah. I like Zuko as a character better, but I think Aang's outfit is just, the most easily recognizable as Avatar.
Okay. Then for the other mythics, we got 3 more mythics. Now with the mythics, we did have like these little like shrines with like the elements that are spread around the map. Like I said, that's a little bit of loot. They're kind of random, and like certain areas have like so many more. Like there's not I think there's like 1 in the entire like Underworld and Grim Gate area. There's like 3 over in the Olympus area.
Yeah,
the spread's very weird, but we get earthbending, firebending, and airbending on top of the waterbending, which is still in the game. Earthbending. What do you think about that one?
I think it is probably only very viable in Zero builds.
Yeah.
Because you can have that kind of instant cover and it's rechargeable, so it's not like something that you need more items for. But you also have that 80 damage hit that you can get that's really only good if they're not behind cover, because it'll destroy a wall instantly, which is really good, but it doesn't do any damage to them, and then you have to try and pull up another one and throw it.
Yeah, it's no splash damage or anything.
Yeah.
I will say, like you said, it's definitely going to be better in zero build because of that wall, like Todoroki's ice wall.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be decent in build mode because, like, when the first day, like, I shockwave and you can hit it from the air and it does a lot of damage, breaking, especially if you're playing duos, right? You can completely shatter the wall for your duo, right? Like, there's definitely uses for it. I do think it is, like, the second worst in build mode and just in general. Not even build mode, this is just in general. But yeah, I like you said, I think if I played more zero build, I would probably pick it up purely for the wall, not really for the damage.
Yeah, the wall is very useful.
Airbending.
Airbending, I actually really like this one simply because they kept it airbending. They didn't, like, lose what airbending is, because obviously all of these mythics have attacks, whereas airbending does not have an attack. It is purely passive, which is, I feel like, very honoring to the show. So
yeah, I like
I'm
that.
A
it's a
fan
very
of this
passive,
one.
like, nomad type thing, and it's just pure mobility. You have two. You have a big jump, and then you have an air wheel, which goes over water, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And can blatantly go up mountains. Have you gone up a mountain yet?
I have gone up a mountain. I was like, holy crap, I am literally scaling vertically right now.
So that's kind of cool. I still think shockwaves are better, but and especially the dash. Like, I'd rather have the dash, but it's there, and it's nice because now you have infinite mobility for your duo, right? Like, I've been dropping, I've been playing ranked, I drop Grimgate, like, every time, and generally we win, like, a good, like, 3 out of 4 times, and when we do, I get the medallion, but it's nice now that my duo has something, and they don't have to use, like, because we don't have wings, right? And even then, wings aren't great. So they now have the airbending for that infinite mobility, which is nice. But yeah, I gotta get used to it still. Like, I keep, like, accidentally pressing the wrong thing, especially on keyboard and mouse. Like, it's a mouse button, and it's really awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, firebending.
This one I'm conflicted on. I don't know how to feel about firebending simply because it is strangely difficult to hit with, because the projectile itself seems like it's, like, a straight line, and then that straight line turns based on where in the combo you are, and it flies a short distance. So, like, sometimes I'm trying to use it from a little bit back to get that kind of short distance hit, but it doesn't work. And then sometimes I'm right up there, point blank next to them, and it feels like the projectiles are, like, turning around the person I'm trying to hit.
I think, like we said, like, waterbending, it's like a burst, right? Earthbending is, like, defensive, and airbending is mobility. Firebending is supposed to be, like, the offensive, but it's just so weak. Like, 40, because, like you said, like, the travel time and everything, if I only used it once, and if the guy had, like, actual aim, he would have killed me, because he got, like, 3 shots off with a shotgun. He just missed and did, like, 20 total damage to me. But if he hit his shots, I would have been dead. Like, why would I pick this up when I can use the waterbending? Or the Gatekeeper or the Frenzy. Like, there's so many better options than this. Like, there is no reason. I will say,
its second ability is great. The ground pound, it does 80 damage on the ground pound, and it has a very wide area. So, like, say, once again, you're kind of pushing down into a vault, just ground pound right there at the entrance, and you're going to not only knock back both of them out of their cover, but hit them for 80 damage as well.
Yeah. Which, again, I just don't think it's not worth it when I can get, like, 2 shots off with the Gatekeeper.
Up, like, because it's one, like, 12-second recharge ability out of all of these other bendings that you could definitely do more with.
And I also just don't understand why people are saying it's like there's a big learning curve and something. Like, if there is a large learning curve, that does not make it good when the other ones don't. If the other ones you can use well enough instantly, then those are significantly better. Like, you should not have to have a massive learning curve. And even with the massive learning curve, there just isn't enough pros to outweigh the cons. Like you said, like, there's too much of a delay. If there was, like, a 4-5 second delay, I might see it being more useful. But even then, like I said, like, if they're good enough and you have to be that close, I'm gonna die to a shotgun because you're stuck in that animation. There's a little, like, animation when
I
you
do
hit
think
the ground.
something that helps though is every time you attack with firebending, it kind of like dashes you.
It does push you a little bit, but
and I have died to a firebending simply because of that, not because of how much damage they were doing, but because I couldn't keep track of them because every time they attacked, they'd be in front, behind, left, right, like they're constantly dashing around.
Which again, though, with me playing like ranked, especially Grimgate, I'm used to that because of the dash. Like it's just not. It's just something that you gotta learn. So like if
that
you're used
is
to the
faster
dash,
though.
that
Like
one.
the skull dash has like a kind of cooldown period in between where you can use it. Like you have to touch the ground and then you can use it again. Whereas this is like
You don't have to touch the
half
ground.
a second in between dashes.
I dash like 2-3 times in the air sometimes.
Not possible, buddy.
I do. Just gotta be high
Yeah.
enough. Like if I'm jumping from the top, like
obviously. But like
So I'm
if
saying,
you're
like,
just
if I'm at the
jumping
top-
off of the ground, you have to come back down to the ground.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, no, I just don't think that one's worth it. The other ones I see purpose. I just don't see a purpose for firebending. But I think that's really it. Yeah. We'll see. We will say, we already know that we're getting another event afterwards, which we talked about, but not on the pod, which I think is just a problem with the season, is the fact that we've had, like, no content, but we've had so much content. There's been no map changes. The guns are just rehashed. Like sure, they're fun, but like I said, I don't see people using the deagle really much with the sniper. I don't see people using the drum gun with the burst and warforged. So there's like so much content, but so little. Because
And I feel
they
like
just
we
don't
need to talk
balance
about
it.
the fact that the only new items they did add got removed this update.
And that's the other thing. Yeah, it is the myths and mortals, and right now for like 2 or 3 weeks, it is only mortals, as all the mythics, not mythics, but all the actual god powers are gone.
The lightning, the wings, the chain, like they're all
Well, so like
vaulted.
I said, I don't use them, and most people didn't use them, other than maybe the Thunderbolt a little bit. Well, it's more the principle of the fact that it's like, it's the Greek season. Why do we have Avatar stuff? And don't get me started on, it's too much. Did you see the Marvel season? With like 50, like everyone had like inventories of mythics, or the card, like we've had so many crazy stuff before. Why now?
And I'll say, I said this before to you off podcast, but I think simply because they chose to do this, Avatar should have been its own season. I don't care how short it was. I don't care if it was a month long. I could care less. But I think because of how much stuff they added, how much more stuff that Avatar has, like they could have added POIs, they could have added some more characters that people are wanting, and the fact that they had to remove half of the season that we're currently in that people were excited for, they should have just made this its own season so that we could have time with each of these things and it not be, diluted by the other.
And the other big thing, right, because that's at the beginning, but there's also something that comes after, and that is the fact that this is ending on May 3rd. We are going to be getting the May the 4th, right after Avatar. Like, that last week of Avatar, which we're almost around, is going to be, like, completely diluted by all the leaks and teasers for the May the 4th, because in the files, we know we have, like, a new, gun thing. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be like in-game
Chewbacca's
wise.
bowcaster.
But I don't know how well that's going to be in-game wise. If that's going to be like the other ones, I don't care. I'm going to be honest. Like, the other ones were just not worth picking up. So I don't know if this one's going to be, like, better. Like, it's going to be more like a sniper or what. But the other thing is, are we going to get the lightsaber powers back? Because if so, if we get the other, are we going to not have the Greek abilities? Going to be filled with lightsabers? Or are we going to have lightsabers and Greek powers?
Yes.
Are we going to have a pass, too? Like, I know there's, like, a few skins that can possibly come out because we have a Lego collab as well. So,
I would be shocked if we got a second mini pass this season.
I would be too, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it just that's the problem with, like, the Avatar update and, like, the season. It's hard to, like, enjoy one thing because it's like, okay, here's Greek powers. Now here's Avatar powers. Now here's lightsaber powers. Like, there's so much content, but then that makes everything feel so much smaller.
Yeah, I think, and I just had this thought. I think this is a good representation of kind of where we're at right now. Fortnite is fun, but no individual season can be fun if they keep this up.
Yeah.
Because, like, we can be excited for seasons and see, oh, all this new content's coming. But then if we get something like this where, yes, they're constantly adding new stuff, and that new stuff is fun, right? It makes the gameplay awesome, but it takes away from the stuff that we had right before it. And because of that, we can't have fun with a season. We can't, like, look back and say, oh, yeah, I loved the Myths and Mortals season, because half the season wasn't Myths and Mortals.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. And like I said before, like, I don't want to get too much into, like, the Avatar season thing, but I just say, like, I feel like what they always do, and I don't know why they didn't do it now, do it at the end of the season, when we have that downtime of, hey, here's, like, 2 or 3 weeks where we're not going to get new content, because it's at the end of the season. They don't want to add, like, a whole new feature for the last, like, 3 weeks. So that's when we get 2-3 weeks of this event pass. So why are we not getting it then? Because I guess the May the 4th stuff is happening, so we have to have May the 4th again. But why can't we just have it both? Because we've had big collabs like that at the same time. Remember, we had the Kamehameha and Deku Smash.
I'm going to guess that one is a contractual obligation, probably, with Disney. Because, think about it, we've had a May the 4th every year, so Disney knows, like, this is a big collab time with Fortnite. And they probably have it in their contract that no other, like, major collab can be going on at the same time. That way it doesn't take away from the popularity of the Star Wars stuff.
Then do Korra next season. Because Korra, from what I've seen, was supposed to be Aries. I don't know if you saw that. I've seen a lot of people say that Korra was swapped in from Aries. He was not supposed to be a crew. He was supposed to be the secret skin.
Dang.
Which makes sense, because, you know, he's kind of, like, on the map. But, oh well. Yeah, I feel like, again, they could have done so much better, and I feel like the problem is it's just one thing after another. And I feel like if they spaced it out, did it at the end, not do it, like, this and that, like, given some time, it would have been better.
Yeah.
I'm currently going through Twitter, double-checking. I don't think I have anything on these two. Most of the recent bookmarks I have are for later, but I'm trying to find anything else. I think that's really it for these two, right?
Probably.
Rocket Racing. Rocket Racing.
We did get some, just side note, we did get some Avatar Rocket League stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, was that actually compatible with Fortnite, or was that, like, a later compatible with Fortnite?
I think it's later.
Yeah. But we did get that, and it'll probably be coming at some point.
Yeah, so we'll get into that. I will say I've been enjoying a lot more stuff coming from Rocket League. I don't use it, but it's nice to see, you know, there's so much stuff, especially for those people. Like I said, like, it's just like a general thing. Even if I don't care about it, it's nice that those people that did play it are getting so much more content in Fortnite. But yeah, I think we can get into these two big controversial issues that Fortnite's been dealing with. Now, this is a little late, but I do think it's important to just chat about, because it's still going on, et cetera, et cetera. So, what do you want to get into first? Want to get into creative or the UI?
Let's talk about the UI.
So, what happened, JJ?
So, for some reason, and nobody can really decipher why, there's not like 100 theories on Twitter about why they would have done this, but they decided rarities are outdated. Let's remove those from the locker and the shop.
Yeah, so no more cosmetic rarities. They're still in BR. They're still in Lego, but not for cosmetics.
Yeah. They're totally outdated, even though we're still using them in 2 of our major game modes.
And not just that, like, the thing that they said, which is really funny, that there was a community post on Fortnite talking about this, and they said, oh, it's outdated, and then, like, I specify Lego because Lego is new. If it's an outdated BR thing, then why do they add it to Lego? But guess what? They're doubling down because they switched the rocket racing rarities to, like, super, like, deluxe, sports. It's just rarities. It's just rarities, guys. Like,
they just renamed them. Like, they are still, you know, common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary.
The colors even look the same, but, you know, just changing the names, which is just, oh my gosh. So
and obviously people are thinking they have done this, and this is just the main theory. There are some other ones floating around, but the main theory is so that they can kind of upwardly price some of the other skins in the shop. right? And as new skins are coming out, we're seeing a lot of them be like higher priced than they should be. Like a super basic skin is coming out to be the price of a epic or legendary when it really should just be an uncommon, but they're pricing it higher.
Not that high. I haven't seen anything that crazy, but there was the one skin that I saw like a big thing with uncommon, right? They don't come with back blings. And we had a skin that did not come with a back bling, but was priced as a rare, which is like, 400 more. And I will say, devil's advocate, this isn't new. Like, this isn't like just happening. Now, certain parts it is, but they've always been pretty inconsistent with their pricing, especially for like the bundles where you have like a pickaxe with the skin included. And I don't mean that like buying a bundle. It's like you buy the skin and it instantly comes. So like the skin is priced as 1,800 because it comes. And then like, the legendary with all the customizability, the superheroes are 1,800, which is cheaper. So they've been inconsistent from like the start. But I think another big thing that I see a lot of people complain about is they did this, they're explaining it, and they said like, we'll work on it, or something stupid. But then we're still waiting on the locker UI that they said they would update. And with this removal of the rarities, V-Bucks are now rare, I guess, or like transcendent or something, because it's screwing over Save the World. And then I don't know about you, but I organize it by season, which I know a lot of people are saying that. It's like, okay, yes, I also organized it by season. So they're saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal, but it was still organized by rarity in the season. So if I knew my skin was a tier 100, that's going to be a legendary from like chapter 1, it'd be at the top. Versus, like my event stuff, like my Easter skin, that's generally uncommon, that's going to be at the bottom of the season. But now it's alphabetical, which like isn't that big of a problem. The problem is, I'm sorry, I have 400 skins. I don't know what the name of all my skins are, but I know the rarity. I know it's dark. I know it's purple. I know it's rare. I'm sorry, I don't know all 400 names of my skins, and now I have to memorize that in order to properly find it, even if it's by season. Like, the fish stick stuff, right? He has 3 wraps. There's like 2 rows between them now, because it's alphabetical, instead of by rarity. Like, instead of them being all next to each other, it's completely spread out, so it's such a pain to find stuff now.
Yeah, and I will say, they did keep the series. The series are still there. We still have, like, Lava series and Dark series and
the
Ice
collabs.
And all that. Yeah, and the collabs. But I feel like they need to add more of those if they want that to be something we actually sort by. Because obviously we have skins like, Peter Griffin or like, what's another good example?
Yeah, we talked about like the anime, right?
Yeah, like the anime skins.
All the
like,
anime stuff, the cartoon, like
and the
Peter
Avatar
Griffin
stuff,
and
like
and Morty,
all
Avatar.
Of
those could be like
it's
cartoons,
stuff that comes
anime.
from other IPs that should have their own series, whether it be like its own sole Avatar series or like a TV series or a movies series or something like that.
I don't see something like Avatar because it's not enough, but like you said, like TV, cartoon, anime, like there's plenty of anime skins now to make it more of a series. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more anime than Slurp series, but Slurp has its own thing.
Exactly. So I feel like if they made that something, then it would absolutely be a little bit more plausible to make this change, right? It's now something else that we can sort by. But instead, all they did was change the one skin everybody was already saying was Slurp series to a Slurp series.
And I saw another thing. Like I said, it was inconsistent from the beginning. I don't think it's that big of a deal, right? Because the rarity doesn't really decide the price, like we already decided. What I like what Hypex said, it did not belong from the start, but it's too late now. I'm too used to how everything works. And I do think some people are saying, oh, it's just a rarity, it's not that big of a deal, you still buy it. And it's like, no, the one reason a lot of skins were popular was because they were cheap and uncommon. Specifically like uncommon, like the green skins were popular. Now, if those can just be more expensive, like, and they're not really uncommon, I do think there is a valid reason to be like, hey, I kind of want like a refund. Like, I bought this because it was uncommon, and now I don't have that. Now, I do think that's a little excessive, but I don't think it's that out of the picture. And they just don't care. Like, they didn't say anything. And, like I said before, like, we thought we were getting a UI change. I think if we got that UI change, right, and then we got this, I do not think it'd be as big of a deal.
Yeah, probably
it's
true.
It's just thrown onto the fire.
Yeah, this is definitely something that it's mostly become a problem because of the other problems that are happening right now.
Yeah.
Like, we've lost a kind of sense of communication that we felt like we had really good the past few seasons, and now it just feels like we're being ignored. All the things that people are saying is just not amounting to anything. And now on top of that, they're making changes that we don't like, and then actively ignoring us and doubling down.
Yeah.
It's like, it would not make people so upset if they were at least acknowledging that we had these stances and explained themselves a little bit further. But the only explanation we got was, oh, it's outdated. And then it's definitely not outdated because they're still using it.
It's also really funny because we had a community post on that saying it's not outdated, and then that community post got removed. Which is so funny. Hold up. Actually, I want to look up Fortnite. Do you think it's still there?
I don't know.
Do you think they think it's come back? Because everyone was like, no. There was very much active. So let's see. We gotta scroll back a few days. We got some new skins. Oh, we got Apollo. What do you think of Apollo?
Wait, which one was Apollo?
The sun guy.
It's alright. Honestly, not something I was hugely excited about, but
it's there.
It's alright.
Dang. Okay, I can't find it. Oh well. Rocket racing, and then we have the creative thing. We forgot to mention rocket racing.
Yeah.
New rocket racing season. What are you thinking?
I'm glad we get some variation, finally.
Oh, you don't want to be in the desert anymore?
No, I do not want to be in the desert. Please don't put me back.
Wait, was it Fortnite or was it status? Because I scrolled back to like the Midas, and it was after the Midas.
I think they deleted it, didn't they?
Did they delete it?
I think
they might have. Let me check status real quick. But yeah, so I'm happy. I like the aesthetic. What about you?
I definitely like this too. I think, like, I've always been a fan of like neon and cityscapes and stuff like that. So I think this is definitely probably going to be one of my favorite rocket racing seasons. And they're nothing special, right? Rocket racing seasons, all they're going to do from this point forward is maybe add a new car and some new maps. So like, it's not like, oh, I had a favorite rocket racing season, but this is definitely my favorite batch of maps. And it probably will be for a while.
Yeah, and with this, we also got creative with rocket racing. So I haven't played any of those, but it just adds a lot more variety from now on. However, those aren't going to be for ranked. So if you're going to grind, because I really don't see a point in playing rocket racing unless it's ranked, because it's like you can't even like do batch. Like you have to play a specific map. So if you want to play like random, like random maps, you'd have to play ranked, which is still stupid.
But I feel like, okay, this is kind of a whole nother sidetrack here, but I feel like they kind of sabotaged rocket racing as its own mode because they didn't give it any sort of pass like they did for festival. They're just giving it quests, and you have to get to like the top tier in order to get all the rewards. And because rocket racing has it in that format, people are less inclined to just hop on and play. You have to like sit down and dedicate to, okay, I now have to move up at least one rank in this play session or like something like that. Whereas in Zero Build or Festival, you can just sit down with friends and still be completing your paths.
So here's the thing. You know how more and more stuff from Rocket League is coming over? And I don't know if you saw, there's also more talk of the crew benefits. What if Rocket Racing was paired with Rocket League, and if you play Rocket Racing, it upgrades the Rocket League pass?
That would be worth it. That would absolutely be something that I would
Because all that stuff, most of that stuff will eventually 100% transfer over to Fortnite. I'm guessing, and Fortnite's supposed to transfer over to Rocket League, right?
Yes. I think that would be a hugely, like, great incentive, and especially because we're getting that free Rocket Pass from the crew.
That's the other reason why I said that.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense, and it would bring more incentive to play both games as well, which is kind of the main goal of making things transferable between them, is to bring people to the other game. And so if I have two ways to progress the same pass, that is going to be a lot more intriguing than just, you know, having to play Rocket League to get stuff in Fortnite.
Because I will say that I don't have data, I don't have stats, I don't have anything, but I can almost 100% guarantee, because you can upgrade the Fortnite Battle Pass to a BR Pass, right? With everything, that makes more people buy it. Because you can play creative and do it. Because you can play Lego and just upgrade it. Like, you don't have to play BR. And Rocket League is locked to Rocket League. So I can almost guarantee that's going to increase sales of buying it or buying the crew, because you get that then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it goes. And then finally, we had a little bit of a creative skirmish. So again, just the communication, there's just like none of it. And the amount of Fortnite is just really bad with the discovery, and it has gotten significantly worse. So what do you know about this situation?
Not a lot, obviously, because I don't play creative as much as I think you do. But
And I also don't think you follow Cypher BK and all these people too.
Yeah, I've not seen a lot of, or I have seen a lot of people complaining about it on Twitter and stuff. So it's interesting.
So for the people that live under a rock, there's this one guy that, really annoying little kid probably. He made the pit map, like the pit map, the big one that everyone plays that always has like 70 to 100k players. It's a big one. And he thinks he can copyright the words "the pit," and it tried to copyright another small creator right before he got his payout, because he used the pit. And clearly that's like not allowed. You can't copyright such a generic word like the pit. Like this happened before. You can't copyright red versus blue. Not to mention, the pit's not original. It started on Minecraft Hypixel. Years before. So, like, there's just so many problems here. But he doubled down, and then Cypher... then he's telling Cypher, I think you should go speak to a lawyer. And then Cypher came with a great comeback. Did you see the comeback?
Did not.
Oh my god, hold up. I gotta find this. It was great. So, it's also funny because he then came out with a, with his own pit map, which was hilarious. But he pretty much said, I think you should go speak to your mom about being a little B-word.
Oh, yeah, I saw that response.
Yeah, that was his comeback to him speaking to a lawyer. It was great.
Oh, goodness.
Because it's stupid. Like, it's quite literally, you're breaking, like, there is no legal, like, justification for what this dude's doing. And it's getting worse because more and more maps are getting copyright strike, taken down. And then apparently, did you also know that you're not supposed to put text in your, like, background? That's against terms of service. When you look in, you know, the background, like, it's not just, like, the avatar thing. Like, they can make a custom one. You can't have text in that.
Oh.
Which I can kind of understand if it's text like, subscribe, XP. But apparently, one of the maps was taken down, box PvP, because it's a little box with box PvP on it for the background. That was taken down. That. But not the hundreds of maps that are, like, coercing players into liking, favoriting, because when they do that, that puts it higher in discovery, and then more people play it. So that is quite literally tricking their players. But then box PvP, which doesn't do that, just has the words box PvP, was taken down.
Was it? Because I literally see it on my thing right now.
It might be back, but this is a few days ago. But it's just, they're so selective about it. Like, it's really bad.
Yeah.
And then obviously this also creates a problem because we know they're paying their creative maps a little too much, and that is one reason why they had to let off some people. So, like, you're giving these people that are tricking the system and scamming players more money instead of giving it to the smaller creators, which is what the point was. You can be a small creator and make a little bit of money, but then they're getting stricken, like, all these problems to them, but not the big guys, which then get paid more and more.
Honestly, I don't understand how this is still a problem, because something as simple as having mods, like, simple as, like, Twitch chat mods or Discord mods, those kinds of roles could solve this problem, because anytime, like, their entire job could be just go through, see if there's anything breaking terms of service. And then they take down what they see, or they give a strike to what they see, or however they want to deal with it. But it seems like they don't have anybody in that role, because every player that scrolls onto this page can see everything breaks terms of service.
Like, all the collab stuff, right? Like, SpongeBob, like, even if it's not even that, like, I saw... There was this one guy was showing off how it had, like, all these words that were, like, references, including, like, the Mario text. Not Mario, but it was that font. And it's like, that is clearly, like, referencing that. Like, that is against terms of service. And now that I know that apparently text is not supposed to be in the background, that's also breaking terms of service.
Half of these are, like, straight up breaking that. Like, obviously there's that box PvP, but I scroll one more row down. Jujitsu box PvP, Streamer Life, Drive Nation,
the
Backrooms Gun Game.
Also, like, did you see all those box PvPs? That was the Era box PvP, Krusty Krab, like, all those, like, with the really...
They all have text. It's like a YouTube thumbnail.
It's so... And they're just so... Like, they pick and choose. There needs... Either ban it and ban it for everyone, or just allow it. Just allow it at this point. Like... and then that way the small creators don't get screwed over because they're smaller and they don't have a lawyer helping them out. Like, you should not need a lawyer to help your map, like, make money.
Yeah.
Like, it's just really bad, and it's gotten significantly worse, and I don't think it's going to get significantly better right now. I think I only see more problems coming out with Lego and Rocket League, Rocket Racing Creative, and I don't know how bad it's going to be, and what the monetization part of those game modes are, but probably not going to be great. Now, JJ, we're at 55 minutes. Do we want to quickly get into some of those UEFN updates quickly? This one might go a little over an hour.
Sure, yeah.
But, so yeah, we talked about this in another one in our general internet update, but State of Unreal or whatever it's called happened. And we have a lot of creative updates, right? Do you remember what a lot of them were? No, okay. So we're going to have, like, custom quests, right? Some custom UI, and a lot of that kind of stuff, which, like you said, you haven't played a lot of creative, but I've been playing a little bit more, and I will say I played this one map called, like, Lumberjack Simulator Tycoon or whatever, and you go swing at a tree, and you get more wood, and then you can buy stuff. But to buy it, you have to, like, right-click, instantly right-click, and opens up a full menu that can give, like, boosts. There's, like, a statistics and stats, playtime, wood broken, pets, everything in this UI. And I think when that UI can be a little bit more custom, because it still looks like a Fortnite UI with the blue and everything, like, but when that gets more custom, that's going to be crazy. I saw in the trailer, there was, like, the custom UI for selecting stuff. Like, say they were playing, like, a story, like, it was, like, a spaceship. Instead of, like, just the hot bar, it was, like, a diamond type thing. And imagine when that's going to be more accessible with custom, like, models and stuff. The games are going to feel so much more unique. Because I've said this before, one of the only entities in the games right now, unless you're just throwing a model over it, or, like, there's bosses, right, with health bar, but they're really, like, janky because it's not a full model. It's not like its own thing. It's just, here, let's throw, like, you know, like, there's the objective things, like the bed, right? It's like throwing, like, a model of a monster onto the bed. It's not really a monster. Those are, like, the only things. Other than that, it's the cube monsters for the monsters you have to fight. And when that happens, when we can get custom, like, monster models and custom guns, games will feel so much more unique, and that is what I'm so excited about UEFN. Yeah, what do you think? Like, because, like, this is also going to be opening
part
up
of me
more
wonders
room.
If the whole reason we haven't had a lot of moderation is because they're trying to wait until UEFN is at that point where we actually have games that are worthwhile and not just copy-paste of another one.
Yeah.
Because then if they try and crack down on moderation at that point, then we're actually going to start seeing the unique games instead of just the copy-paste ones. Whereas now, even if they did crack down on moderation, all we would have is blank death runs and blank red v blues and stuff like that.
I don't know. There's plenty of, like, proper, like, good animated, like, there's so many good maps out there. Like that one that also has, like, a Borderlands aesthetic, right? Like, the aesthetic is completely different. There's this other, like, Tycoon where you have to, like, break exploding things. And, like, it's cool, like, bouncy, goofy animation with, like, pets that grow and you have to feed them. There's so many mechanics that have been added. But what maps are at the top? Not because they're bad and I do like playing them. It's always red versus blue, the pit, 1v1. And I do want those maps to continue, but those are, like, the only maps that are pushed forward. They need to be pushing some of these other fun, unique tycoons and not just a copy-paste tycoon. Because Roblox had that issue too, where there are so many copy-paste tycoons. It's the same exact tycoon. It's just instead of Goku, it's SpongeBob. Like, there is plenty. It's just they're choosing not to promote them practically.
Yeah, and I will say, their one section in, you know, the creative menu, Epic's Picks, they need to keep doing that. Because that section is one of the only sections that I'll, like, actually scroll to and be like, are any of these worth playing this week or this month? You know? It's like, you got Just Climb Sub-Zero. It looks like, you know, a rock climbing game. Like, you're not going to see that in your, you know, people love or community momentum.
Yeah. And they kind of done that before with, like, in BR, right? Where we had to go play creative when we had creative challenges. Why don't make it, like, you know, like Call of Duty, right? They have, like, featured game modes that give you extra XP. What if you get extra XP for playing Epic's Pick? Not, like, a full challenge, just maybe increased XP. Like, play these new custom like game modes that like we chose like from the community, and you get a little bit of XP for it. So it gives people
it would give
an
people
incentive.
incentive to, you know, try something new, to try these different creative games that you probably wouldn't have tried before if there wasn't, you know, a reason to.
And there's plenty of XP out there that I don't see a problem with this one map having 2 times XP as long as it follows moderation, because you should not be getting like 50k for like a kill or something. If it follows normal XP moderation, like whatever it's supposed to be, double it. Like just give it 2 times XP.
But then that loops back to the moderation problem, right? Like almost none of the maps follow XP. Even if it's like a great map and it's very unique, it still probably has more XP than it's supposed to be giving.
Yeah. It's real. But we'll see. Like I said, though, I'm really excited. Now, VR will be fully creative, UEFN, by next year.
Yay!
Anyway, hit the bell, notified when we have more episodes, right, JJ? And where should they join and follow?
They should join the Discord and follow on Spotify and our social medias. There's Instagram and Twitter at Nerdbrand Podcast. Woo!
And with that, I'm Dr. Zombrain, and I don't know who this guy is.
Your mother.